Once again, I want to welcome you to the Holiday Zen and Art of Planning, Insights for Digital Marketers. It is now my pleasure to hand the floor over to our host, MJ DePalma. MJ, you have the floor.
Thanks, Chris. Welcome to today's Bing Ads webinar, Holiday Zen and the Art of Planning, Insights for Digital Marketers. My name is MJ DePalma, and I'm part of the Bing Ads team here, and I'll be your host as well as your Q&A moderator. If you tweet any awesome takeaways from this webinar, be sure to use our hashtag. It's hashtag Bing Ads Holiday, and you can see it at the bottom left of the deck. And just be sure to share those insights with your fellow colleagues. We'd love to share them. You can find it also if you want to directly tweet to any of the presenters. We have our Twitter handles at the bottom, as well as Bing Ads. Our speakers today are experts in their respective field. Shelby Gagnon is our Insights and Product Marketing Manager, always looking for the Bing Ads data that can help our digital marketers be better at what they do on a daily basis. And Richard Park, our Bing Shopping Campaigns expert, has extensive retail data feed experience, as well as setting up shopping campaigns for some of the largest retailers in the world. This holiday season, Bing Ads is focused on delivering insights around three key things based on last year's holiday season's data: mobile, timing, and the unified shopping experience. Shelby Gagnon will go through these insights, while Richard Park will cover off on Bing Shopping Insights. There'll also be some resources at the end that I will review, like a glimpse into the product roadmap and our next webinar's topic, Bing Ads Remarketing. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type them into the Q&A tool on the right side of your screen and click Submit. Myself and our Bing Ads team will work to answer your questions as soon as possible, either through the chat room, or if we have any time at the end of the webinar, we will do so with our speakers. Let's begin the webinar. Shelby, take it away.
Thank you, MJ. So before we jump right into holiday implications for digital marketers, I think it's really helpful to take a 30,000-foot view of the landscape here. So if we flash back to last holiday, in 2014 we saw $616 billion spent, which you're probably wondering, what was that like last year? So this is up about 4% from the year before. But what's really interesting here is that e-commerce is expected to grow much faster at about 14% and account for about 10% of total sales. And you can also see that the average shopper is spending quite a bit, around $800 total on holiday items, and about $600 of that is on presents or gifts. So you may not be surprised to know that holiday indeed remains the top retail season. So when it comes to the holiday season, understanding timing is critical, given it's about 4 months long from September all the way through December. And 40% of people start shopping in October or earlier, so they're already shopping, stating their main reasons as they want to spread out their shopping budget. It's a long 4-month period, avoiding crowds and stress, and finally, not a surprise, getting good prices. So again, it's important to note here that this reflects when people begin, not when they do the bulk of their shopping or even finish. Holy moly! So before your eyes glaze over, not to worry, we'll focus in on a few areas here. So with this 4-month-long season, we want to double down on pockets of opportunity, like the top shopping days. So on the left, we have the top 10 search days on Bing. And on the right-hand side there, these are the top 10 online spending days, and these are both in the US from last year. So half of these days were actually shared, falling into the top 10 for both search and for online spending. And not surprisingly, Cyber Monday and Black Friday, as well as the day actually after Cyber Monday, made the top 3. And also in those top 5 shared days were Green Monday and Tuesday, December 16th. And so Green Monday, for those not familiar with this, is a term actually coined by eBay, which is the top spending day in December, often the second Monday of the month. So kind of like the Cyber Monday of December. So how do these differ? For top search days, you can see here that the week of Black Friday is becoming really a whole week-long shopping experience. So not surprisingly, those are some of the top search days on Bing, and it's often even a month long. And for top online spending days, you can see that that week of Green Monday meaning that second Monday in early December. That falls into the top spending days, so it's really a whole week long. So the takeaway here, this is a lot to take in. We'll share this post-webinar so you can dig in a little bit more. But we're searching a lot in November and spending in December. So half of those top search days fell during Thanksgiving week. And in terms of online spending days, 9 of those 10 online spending days during the whole entire holiday season actually were in December, with the exception being Black Friday. And now for everyone's favorite part of the holidays, presents. So gift cards top the list of the gifts people wanted to or plan to give most often as well as receive, with $32 billion spent on gift cards during the holiday. The average shopper spent quite a bit, $173, and they weren't just buying one. I think on average they bought about 4. So as an advertiser, gift cards isn't something we talk about quite a bit, but this is a huge opportunity for your business. Clearly there's huge consumer demand. And the instant margin on a gift card is nearly 100%, depending on how you're accounting. So lots of implications for digital marketers here. You can include gift cards in your ad copy, as well as your keyword strategy, if those are not part of your current offering. And secondly, capitalizing on that opportunity closer to Christmas Day, when people are looking for last-minute gifts. Maybe they've missed shipping deadlines and they're in search of that gift to save Christmas, a gift card. And thirdly, brand term bidding is really important here. So whether or not you subscribe to this or plan to do it the rest of the year, I think most retailers can agree it's really important for holiday. So for example, people search for Tailspin Toys gift cards. You don't want a competitor edging you out and getting the gift card sale when people are specifically looking for Tailspin Toys gift cards rather than just gift cards. And finally, you can consider including gift card offerings in your site link extension. You want to make sure that your offering is top of mind and easy to find. Oh, that's right, so-and-so does offer gift cards. And if you're a small business, there's quite a few opportunities to get your own gift card program up and running if that's not something that you've considered. It's almost September. You still have a couple months before spending really amps up with gift cards for holiday. So go ahead and Bing that if you're not up and running. And the holidays are not complete without a child's wish list. Here's this past year's most sought after items. So a fun fact here, after 10 years as the top toy making the list, Barbie got benched. Disney's Frozen items were the top gift items last year. So Barbie will just have to let it go, if you will, pun intended. So a tip here is consider the top gifts in demand as you develop your keyword list and ad copy, as well as where customers may be shopping for these items, online, offline, etc., so you can target the appropriate device and message appropriately. And maybe you're there even if you have something a little bit different to offer as appropriate that adults may want to purchase for kids instead that may be related to some of these things. So taking a step back again, here we have a visual of those 3 critical shopping days that people know oh so well. So at a really high level, it's just a helpful reminder that Cyber Monday is indeed still the top sales day, followed by Black Friday and then Thanksgiving. And the important call out here is that Thanksgiving is really continuing to grow, and specifically it's eating into Black Friday shopping as Black Friday really becomes more of a week-long and maybe even month-long extended event. And Cyber Monday, this is kind of a fun fact. It made history. It surpassed that $2 billion mark for the first time ever, making it the biggest online spending day in US history, which is pretty cool. So that top spending day continues to grow. And next up, we're going to talk about mobile. So let's narrow in on this orange box here. It's a lot to look at. But for the very first time this past year, mobile traffic exceeded PC and desktop traffic on Thanksgiving, with 52% coming from mobile. And if you look here, you can see the weekend before Thanksgiving, as well as each week, almost right through Christmas Day, and even afterwards, mobile continued to surpass PC. It's kind of weaving back and forth there. So it's been the year of mobile now for the past 10 years. But I think we can let the data speak for itself here, telling us that yes, indeed, 2014 was clearly yet another strong year of mobile. And so this is where device modifiers can become your best friend to amp up the traffic here on mobile. So when we talk about nearly half of all this online traffic coming from mobile last holiday, I think it was about 45% and it growing. When we say growing, there's so many different directions we could take that in. So let's break that down. Specifically, we mean visits from smartphones increased. So that's great that visits are increasing. How about orders? What are they doing? Yes, orders are increasing too for mobile. And finally, the holy grail. That's great that people are visiting. That's great that they're ordering, but revenue is increasing. So we can see a really healthy growth across the spectrum here, and we're not sort of manipulating the story to say mobile's growing. It's clearly growing in all frames of reference. So another thing to think about when you're planning your mobile strategy this holiday is really clearly how are people using their phone. It's all about consumer behavior here. So most people are using their phone while they're shopping. So it's really important to think of your mobile strategy really at each leg of this shopping trip. So firstly, up top there, you can see that 62% are using their phone to shop before even stepping foot inside the store. So first and foremost, ensure that you're advertising on mobile and actually showing up. So mobile is binary. Either you're there or you're not. I heard someone say, I think that's a great articulation. So maybe they're looking for a gift or store location. You really want to make sure to enable your location extensions and call extensions to make it really easy for them to find you. So you've got them into the store. Next step, now they're shopping. So 53% of people are using their phone while they're shopping. And while they're shopping, people are showrooming, which means that often they're checking out stuff in your store, comparing prices, shopping on their smartphones to see if they can purchase it somewhere else, maybe for less. So you really want to ensure at this stage of the journey on mobile that you're promoting your discounts and deals really clearly within your ad copy. And then finally, they're checking out and they're still on their phone. Get off your phone, people. At the checkout, maybe it's their last chance to buy it somewhere else or maybe buy more, perhaps accessories. Consider that attached there. And 19% are still on their phone, even if they're exiting the store and as part of their path to purchase here. So perhaps they're still showrooming a little bit. Maybe they're considering buying it, returning it, getting it somewhere else. Or maybe they're reading reviews to reassure themselves of the purchase. So you can see that there's 4 pretty distinct legs of that journey, and people are using mobile at all the stages. So it's really important, particularly with holiday, to highlight your deals and offers here. So when we think about mobile, another thing that's important to think about is 1, what does performance look like? And 2, how many people are actually using these mobile features? So first of all, for call extensions, up top there you can see that 70% of mobile users have called a business from the search results, which is great news on 2 fronts. So 1, people are engaging with this ad format, and 2, advertisers are seeing a 25% lift in click-through rate when they use call extensions, which is great. People are using it and it performs, the holy grail. And secondly, in terms of location extensions, we're seeing similar numbers. So over 3/4 of people on their cell phones were using a store locator or a location extension to help them find and hopefully even visit a local store. And again, great news, as people are using this, but they also perform. The lift in the click-through rate as opposed to a standard text ad is about up to 15% here. So those are 2 really specific recommendations in terms of mobile for what to enable. And finally, if you have a great mobile advertising strategy in place, it's really only as good as your mobile website experience the ad directs them to. So mobile visitors spend half the time on a website as those coming from a PC. So this means you have half the time to get the same information to mobile visitors as opposed to your PC visitors. So it's really important to design and organize your holiday web pages accordingly. So follow me here, a good rule of thumb, try navigating your mobile site with just your thumb and put your most important content in the middle of the screen for maximum engagement. Because we know that if your website looks good and it works well on both smartphones and tablets, you can expect up to twice the conversions compared to a less than optimal display. And if there's one thing and one thing only you do in order to optimize your site, customers report that an easy checkout is the main thing that would cause them to spend more holiday shopping dollars on mobile. So get that checkout up and running and make that easy. And finally, we've put together a handy dandy holiday checklist here in terms of mobile. So first and foremost, be consistent across devices with your offers. People are wanting the same offers and discounts. They don't care if they're on their computer, their phone, they're in the store, that online, they want the same offer. So we talked about the importance of site optimization and an easy checkout. And finally, extensions. Extensions are incredibly powerful, and they see strong lifts in click-through rates when you think about using them and what people are trying to do and how to enable. So first, it's important to help them call you, so you can use call extensions for that. Secondly, you need to help them find you and visit you with location extensions, so you can show your business address that's actually closest to the searcher with the local number, and they can easily click on that and call you and find you. And thirdly, you want to help them view the closest store location. So you can consider location targeting to people in or searching for pages in your specific targeted location there. So with that, we're very excited about this next topic of timing. So here at Bing Ads, we have access to some pretty special data. We can tell you exactly when searches, click-through rate, and cost per click peak or dip hour by hour on some of the top shopping days. By device, by category, you name it, we've got it. So today we're just going to look at Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, hour by hour search trends, and new this year, which we're really excited to present to you, is Green Monday and Christmas Eve. So first we're looking at Thanksgiving Day here, and we're looking at hour by hour search trends on PC and desktop. So you can see here that searches peak on Bing first right around 8 o'clock in the morning and then at 6 o'clock in the evening. So you really want to make sure you don't go dark. So you can consider setting up automated rules if you're managing through the platform, and you really want to double down on your key hours here. And secondly, we'll layer in Black Friday. Searches peak early in the morning, again around 8 in the morning. And sales actually in general in the United States peaked closer to 9 a.m. So you can see that people are searching and then they're buying maybe an hour later in terms of peaks. So pretty close to what searches on Bing are doing. And online sales in general grew about 10% from last year. So sales are continuing to grow. We can tell you what device, what hour, exactly what's happening. So this is some pretty critical data to make informed decisions here. You want to make sure that budget does not go dark. And finally, Cyber Monday searches peak twice during the day here. First at about 10 in the morning, and then again at about 6 o'clock at night. So again, it's important to monitor your budget closely here twice a day when there's two humps, if you will. And then new this year, we're super excited that we have Green Monday data to share with you. So again, a reminder, historically, this is the top online sales day in December, kind of like the Cyber Monday of December. And it often falls again on that second Monday of December. So again, what's really interesting here is searches peak at 10 in the morning and then again at 6 at night on PC and tablet. And this is exactly the same behavior as Green Monday. And it's, it's Cyber Monday. Green Monday and Cyber Monday are the same. So both are Mondays. So maybe something to consider. I'm not sharing all the data, but with your Monday strategies through December. And you can see here on the right-hand side that mobile searches peak at 6 o'clock at night. And then finally, Christmas Eve, last minute shopping frenzy. So the last shipping days passed, but we have people reporting that about 10% of them still plan to purchase their last gift on Christmas Eve. So that shopping is probably brick and mortar if they actually want it to arrive on time, or maybe a digital gift card. So this year, Christmas Eve falls on a Thursday, and many people probably take the day off or leave work early if they're working kind of a standard Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of job. And you can see here on PC and tablet, the searches peak and then sharply at 8 o'clock in the morning and then decline. Whereas mobile, there's kind of a flatter plateau. So technically searches peak at about noon, but there's really that plateau between 9 in the morning and 1 p.m. So people are out and about in the morning and still shopping and trying to make those last minute purchases. So bid modifiers and location extensions here are really important to ensure you're amped up on mobile and ready to go and capture those last sales. So again, help them call you, find you, and visit you. And finally, the unified shopping experience. So what do we mean when we say unified shopping experience? So what we mean this morning is this idea of shoppers expecting a connected experience, whether they're on their phone or their computer, they're shopping online or they're at the store, and this idea that they expect to be able to fulfill their order and have lots of different options, whether they want to order it overnight online, they want to beat that online, the overnight delivery, and maybe stop by and pick it up in store on their way home from work for an even faster delivery. They want options and they expect options. And finally, in addition to a unified experience, they expect consistent deals and offerings across this unified experience to further complicate things. So a really nice summary here is cross-device, cross-channel, and flexibility and fulfillment. And those are some big fancy words, but described pretty simply in the terms I just put them in, hopefully. So why does this matter? So we all have a story like this, but recently I bought new couches. And again, we've all experienced this at one point or another, and it's actually a really helpful exercise when you're thinking through this for your business. But I used both my phone and my PC in this process, but I ended up ordering and purchasing them in the store since apparently it was a special color that made it a custom order and wanted to make sure I got it right. And also I really wanted to sit on it because that's very important when you're buying a couch. So what did I experience? The prices and offer did not match up online and in store. It was a lot less online, which is kind of frustrating when I'm going into the store to buy it. Secondly, the website was really not clear about setting expectations with a 10-week delivery time or these custom colors. So I needed to research both online and offline to get the info to kind of clarify these unmatching prices and offerings. And then once it was time to order, I got an email saying the couch is ready to schedule delivery. So I logged in and the computer system said it was not ready. I called and it was ready. So what's the story here, people? And finally, after staying home all day for the delivery day, it was delivered 2 hours later than its 2-hour time window. And the best part of all was it was actually damaged and broken when I got it. So needless to say, it was a frustrating customer experience, both in the way I shopped for and received this, primarily because it was not a seamless, unified shopping experience. It wasn't a great cross-device experience. It wasn't a great cross-channel. And then in terms of that flexibility and fulfillment, expectations were not set. So we have all got a story like that, probably lots of stories, but I think that sets the tone nicely for our quick conversation around this. So again, in this connected world, shoppers can now easily switch between devices and these online and offline channels. So the words we use to describe that, I'm sure many of you have heard this, but showrooming, meaning you visit a brick and mortar store to check stuff out in person before buying it online, probably for a better price. And then this idea of web rooming, again, a word made up to describe the opposite of showrooming, or maybe you're checking stuff out online and then you're going to go physically into the store to buy it. So maybe you're checking out the reviews, for example, on Amazon. So the important thing here, the takeaway for digital marketers, is to make sure to highlight deals and offers in your ad copy and keywords, because people are looking for a deal. They're going to look online and offline to find that best value. So it's particularly important to make sure your best offering is available across your channels, so you're not pulling the rug out from under yourself here. And it's really easy for your customers to find, especially when it's so easy in this day and age to go directly to a competitor for a deal a click away. So you can highlight your holiday specials via extensions and making your store location easy to find via location and call extensions, again, particularly for mobile, so you can capture shoppers on the go in search of a deal. And finally, mentioned this earlier, but nearly 2/3 of shoppers buy the week of Christmas. Only 1/3 have finished all their gift shopping before then. So Huge implications here around flexibility and fulfillment, or that idea of ordering at the last minute online or picking up in store, etc. So there's a lot of shopping and buying still happening online and offline. And for online, December 23 is that overnight shipping cutoff. And finally, the weekend before Christmas showed significant growth this year, thanks to this idea of flexibility and fulfillment. So this stuff really matters. Highlight your shipping options, your free shipping, your in-store pickup, etc., in your ad copy and on your website to promote awareness around the different options for purchase, delivery, pickup. You really don't want to miss out on a sale because somebody just doesn't know that you offer these things like in-store pickup, or that your product's actually available at another one of your store locations, even if you're out of it somewhere else. So that awareness is really important. And who doesn't love a good checklist? There we go. So marketing time. Think about your audience's need, create that offering, and create awareness and set expectations. So firstly, consider offering it. In-store pickup, ship from store, overnight shipping, etc. And if you do offer it, do not forget to tell people that you offer it. Make them aware. Thirdly, make sure your customers can tell if you have a product in stock online or at another store, and update your website with last shipping date. For example, if you order product XYZ today, you will not get this in time for Christmas. So you really want to set your customers' expectations here. Will it ship in time? Is there enough inventory to ship it in time? Is there enough inventory in store if I'd like to pick it up there and get it quicker, etc. So again, we'll share this out post-webinar so you can have this checklist on hand. And finally, this holiday, why advertise on Bing Ads? Well, firstly, you have access to 50 million retail searchers not reached on Google. So that's a pretty good reason if you don't want to miss out on a third of the search market share or your potential customers. And secondly, it costs a little bit less to advertise on Bing Ads. So this is a pretty great story. Reach people not reached on Google. It's cheaper, and we have a lot of our savviest advertisers sharing their performance data back, confirming that their return on ad spend is phenomenal here. So one more final gift this holiday is Bing shopping campaigns. So I'm going to pass it over to Richard Park from here, the best of our Bing Ads shopping campaigns experts.
Awesome. Thank you, Shelby, and thanks for the great insights. So Bing shopping campaigns, we're going to get right into it. So as you know, shopping campaigns has been a very engaging ad format that we introduced almost roughly 2 years ago. Now we've introduced Bing shopping campaigns. So the main difference that you'll see, product ads are product ads. We'll always have product ads, but shopping experience with Bing shopping, it's basically changes within the UI, where we make it a lot more granular and a lot more flexible for you to take control of how you want to create your campaign, what you want to target, and how you want to report on things. So let's just move on to our next slide here. So why Bing shopping campaigns? So we've seen a lot of increases in the past 6 months. So in the past 6 months, impressions have grown 65%, and with clicks, we've seen an increase of 57%. What does that say about Bing shopping? It's growing. Advertisers are engaging. It's a great way to show your products on the SERP. People are interested. People are visual learners. People love looking at products by looking at pictures, and you have everything there from price to product title. So now looking at some of the click volume, so we're looking right now at the pre-holiday click volume. So all this information that you'll see here is basically internal Bing Ads data. So going into some of the data here, prior to the Black Friday and Cyber Monday and the big holiday push, we're looking at November 7th through the 20th, because we're noticing that more and more advertisers and consumers are savvier and they're starting to do their research. So what we notice in toys, and especially in toys, we see a whopping 125% click volume increase, followed by apparel and accessories, which has a 15% increase. But then let's go into the actual holiday season, to the holiday push here. So now looking at Black Friday and Cyber Monday, throughout that timeline from November 21st to December 4th, what we notice is, again, toys, it's taking charge, a 59% click volume increase, followed by an uplift from consumer electronics where we see 25%. So it's growing. Volume is definitely pre and on. There's exponential growth within the click volume. So what we want to focus now is we have some great data to show you around the hourly click volume and the click trends. So what we noticed from Thanksgiving Day, a lot of advertisers, and this is based on Eastern time zone, first of all. So a lot of advertisers are really focusing on looking for products between the hours of 11 a.m. all the way through 4 p.m. And the highest peak is at 12 to 1 p.m. So definitely focus on these areas. And if you have any tools within like Bing Ads tools, you can basically you can use our bid modifier tools to increase bids at certain time and day. So if you have any exclusive deals that are going to be going out, pay attention to your time frame, the exclusive deal, when you want to launch them. Pay attention to when you see the heaviest click volume, and just increase your bids at those certain periods and points. So now looking at Black Friday. Oh yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the box to see, so we can at least help you answer some of these questions right away, and we can caveat some of the questions for the end as well. So definitely utilize that. We're more than happy to answer questions as well. So going back to Black Friday. Black Friday, again, we're noticing the afternoon period for the Eastern time zone, where we're seeing a click volume between 11 and 4 p.m. again. And again, for 12 to 1, we see that it has the highest click volume. So for product ads, you want to concentrate some of your bid increases around these areas. And then for Cyber Monday is a little bit different, where we see the highest click volume from 2 to 3 p.m. Again, 12 to 1, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. These are all certain time periods that you want to take away, and you might want to increase your your bids around those time zones. Now I want to get into what makes product ads run, the strategy and optimization around product ads. So let's focus on the feed. The main thing in the feed is the title. Title drives so much of what people are searching for. So one thing that you want to make sure is you want all the relevant information, all the search terms, all the keywords that will trigger your product ads to be in that title. So you want the brand, you want the product type, and if you can, put in the gender and color as well, and size for apparel and accessories. So make your title as robust as possible. Again, title is king. And going back to the feed, you want to also include some of the recommended attributes as well, so you can get granular too. Next is custom labels. So custom labels is something that we introduced with Bing shopping campaigns. So we have custom labels 0 through 4. Within the custom labels, you want to think about strategy and how you want to group your products together. So especially for the holiday season, you might have exclusive deals like, those 12-hour deals, right, for the consumer electronics. So what you want to do is you might want to just tag those products with exclusive deals or midnight release sale, or you just want to be savvy in how you want to tag some of the items. Again, so you can use that for custom label 0. For custom label 1, you might want to use something around your margins, where you see your highest margin and your lowest margins on products. For custom label 2, you can use seasonality, based on the winter, based on spring, based on fall. If you have any fall items that you might want to try to at least move out of the way, just use seasonality as well. So custom label 3 is, high, medium, and low ROAS. This is a great tactic to use as well, so you know what items have the best return. And then custom label 4, if there's anything that you might be missing from your feed, you can always use custom label 4 or any other custom labels, like you're missing gender and you want to add that in right away, you do that. If you're missing, let's say you're a jewelry customer, you're missing precious metals, you're missing gold and silver, you can add that in as well. You can use custom labels to basically break it out, strategy, and target certain specific labels as well. So next thing that we want to look at is sale price attribute. This is really cool, and I can't stress you enough to use this, especially for the holiday season. Obviously, you guys are going to have sale price items. So what this does is, in your data feed, you have 2 columns that you might want to add, which is sale price and sale price effective date. So for sale price, it's obvious, put in the sale price. Sale price effective date, you put in the effective date and the end date as well. So what it'll do is basically, it'll show up your regular price, and it'll have that crossed out, and then it'll show up the actual sale price next to it. So it's kind of like a promotional thing, a call out, basically saying, hey, this item's on sale. Consumers will be more attracted to this actual format, and they'll more high likely click, and hopefully it'll convert on it. Right? So let's go to the next. So priority settings. Priority settings is something that you can be savvy with. A lot of people don't think about it. They just think, oh, I just want this to serve, so they keep their priority settings at high. But during the holiday rush and holiday season, you can be really savvy with how you want to do your priority settings. So if I have a retail client that's going to be very focused on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and they give me all their products that they want to move for Black Friday, what I'll do is I'll create a campaign, right? And I'll target just those items for Black Friday. And then for the priority settings, I'll keep that at high. And then for my regular shopping campaigns, I will maybe move all their priority settings to medium or low, so that I ensure that these Black Friday items are showing up and they're getting the most visibility. So that's definitely a way that you can focus on and just strategize around for the holiday season. So reporting, I can't stress enough about how important reporting is. For reporting, definitely use these two reports. One lives in the UI and one's an actual downloadable report. So there is the dimensions tab and dimensions report. So within the dimensions tab, you can filter out by the category, by the product type, but the one filter I ask you to filter out is by the ID. So item ID is the most granular you can get at the shopping reporting level. That way you can focus on which items are driving costs, which items are performing well. Same goes to the shopping report. You can have that to be scheduled, and you can look at your shopping report, and you can optimize from, again, at the item level detail reporting. And I can't stress enough to you how important the item ID reporting is. So oftentimes when I'm strategizing with some of our clients, for advertisers here, I often ask them, hey, do you have a bestsellers ad group? Do you have a bestsellers campaign? So you know which items are selling, are your highest converting products. So this reporting will only finite that and make sure that you are performing at the most optimal way. So product groups. This comes down to your actual, how do you build out your campaign, right? Oftentimes, and this is a headache of mine, I gotta be honest with you all, I often see all products just running, and that's a no-no in my opinion. If you have a product feed, you have data in there where you can get as granular as possible. And you obviously have item IDs. So what we ask of you to do is basically get as granular as possible. Go to the item ID level, not just focus on all products or just on certain categories, but break out things. Yeah, you have to think about, which categories are best performers and which categories aren't. But still, break them out. Then get as granular as possible by the item ID level. Remember, your bids are the most important thing. So if you know that you have a category that doesn't perform well, lower the bid. But if you know you have a category that doesn't perform well, then start breaking out by the item ID and focus on the item IDs that you knew that do perform well. Bid up on those, right? And then, so next thing that we want to talk about is the action checklist. So for the holiday shopping campaign action checklist, we have a few things that we want to talk about, which are the 5 points here. Update your feed as soon as possible and as often as possible, so that we know that availability and price is always updated. Again, and the next point is your titles. Title is king. Next thing is your bids and your prior settings. Look at your bids and your prior settings. For prior settings, keep, if you have exclusive items that you want to just display for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, create that campaign and set that prior setting to high, and bid up on those items. And for all the rest of your campaigns, you can, strategy-wise, you can put them at medium or low, and then revert back to them after the high holiday seasons. And then utilize the dimensions tab reporting. Definitely the dimensions tab reporting is very important. You want to look at which items are performing at scale and which items are performing at best too. And then you can also look at items that aren't performing well. And through the campaign settings, you can also exclude items that aren't performing. So getting started with shopping campaigns. Yep. Yeah, again, the slide, if it's not advancing, apologies on our behalf. Yeah, advance the slide. Yeah. All right, so now getting started on shopping campaigns. So for shopping campaigns, if you want to get started, we do have a link. It's help.bingads.microsoft.com. Just type in shopping right there, and you'll just be prompted to a shopping setup page, and it has all the walkthrough from end to end. So for the holiday and shopping insights are key takeaways. So the main thing that we want you to think about, advance the slide. So again, for holiday and shopping insights, some key action takeaways are think mobile. Definitely focus on mobile, call extensions and location extensions for shoppers. Timing is very important, create a plan for top shopping days and capitalize on product opportunities. And then unify shopping experience for your customers and offer consistent deals across channels. And then for shopping campaigns, if you're already not on it, do it as soon as possible. Get adopted as soon as possible. And we also have this cool import functionality where if you're running Google Shopping campaigns, you can import your Google Shopping campaigns directly into Bing Shopping. And then again, make sure you invest your time into the shopping campaigns, get as granular as possible within the campaigns, break it out everything by your categories and then your IDs. So advance to the next slide. All right, coming soon on Bing Ads.
Yeah, hi everyone, this is MJ DePalma. Thanks for listening to our insights on shopping as well as holiday. Coming up on Bing Ads, we have some product updates. Just wanted to give you a glimpse in the roadmap. We have customer level invoicing, which will allow you to manage your accounts more easily by receiving one invoice across all your accounts. Keyword planner, there's going to be a place where you can do in a single tool your research and as well add your keywords to, as well as get your traffic estimates all in one place. So that'll be really cool. Upgraded URLs, you'll be able to set up and manage your shared tracking URL parameters. Image extensions, add image to your ads to help them stand out to customers and increase your click-through rate with that for sure. Also, wanted to point out that although product ads are available in the US, they are coming available in the UK, France, Germany, and Australia. Last but not least, we will be having remarketing available. It was scheduled for Q3. It looks like it'll be the first week in October, so that's Q4. So definitely it's going to be something that you want to drive for the holidays. So our next webinar, if you could advance to the next slide. Our webinar on September 15th is about universal event tracking, which will set up your Bing Ads account for remarketing, and you definitely want to take advantage of that. Our host will be myself, and the speaker will be Eric Couch, who's been in search marketing for a very, very long time. And we'd love to have you attend that webinar as well. Thanks very much, everyone. If you guys have any other questions, please put them in the box on the right, and we will answer them offline. One thing I do want to do is if Chris, could you jump to slide 56 where it's getting started with shopping campaigns? I just wanted to review really quickly with Richard Park. If you're not already set up with shopping campaigns, there's just 3 easy steps to get set up with shopping campaigns. And really the first step that you really want to do, Richard, could you tell us what that would be?
Yeah, so the first step is basically, if you haven't created a store and you haven't gone to Bing Merchant Center and claim the domain URL, that's what you want to do. So first things first is go into your UI, go into Bing Merchant Center, create store, claim the domain, and you'll have to go through Webmaster Tools and put a script on your page. It's something that your developers can work with you on that part.
So claim your domain is the first thing that you want to do for sure.
For sure, okay. If they haven't set up a BMC store.
And then that'll allow you to create a store.
Exactly.
Easy. And then the third thing is spending time with your data feed.
Yep.
Right?
So once your store is created, then you're going to create the catalog file, and then you'll have a data feed there. What you want to do is make sure you create your data feed. We'll have all the required fields and recommended fields. Again, I can't stress enough, make your feed as robust as possible. Keep, put in those recommended fields as well.
Great. All right, sounds good. I think we're coming to the end of our content. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and look forward to seeing you on September 15th to talk about how to set you up for remarketing.